Everyone always talks about this idea of work-life balance.
Yeah,
Like, it's something we should all be striving for.
for sure.
But no one seems to actually know how to get it.
It does feel kind of elusive, right?
Yeah, like a mythical unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's heard of it,
Right.
but no one's actually seen it in real life.
Exactly.
Well, you sent over some really interesting sources
Okay.
that promise a more down-to-earth, practical take on this whole thing.
I'm glad you found them helpful.
Yeah, so let's dive right in.
Sounds good.
What I found really interesting about these sources
Okay.
is they don't really focus on,
Yeah.
like, this idea of perfectly splitting your time.
Mm.
Like 50-50 between work and life.
I think that's a really important point.
Yeah, because let's be real.
Yeah.
Life is messy.
It is.
It's unpredictable.
Definitely not a perfect equation.
Exactly.
So how do these sources define work-life balance then?
Well, they actually define it
Okay.
as finding a rhythm that lets you succeed at work
Yeah.
without, like, totally sacrificing your well-being.
I like that.
Yeah. And they even cited this
One-
Harvard Business Review study
Oh, wow.
that found employees who felt like they had a good work-life balance
Yeah.
were something like 21% more likely to be high performers.
That makes sense
Yeah.
because if you're constantly overworked
Right.
and stressed out,
Yeah,
it's going to take a toll on you.
for sure.
Like your performance is going to suffer.
Definitely.
And the sources you sent, they actually highlighted a study
Oh, wow.
from the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Medicine
Mm.
that basically found that chronic overwork
Yeah.
can actually lead to
Oh, no.
pretty serious health problems,
Like what kind of problems?
like heart disease,
Oh, gosh.
even stroke.
Wow.
So it's not just about feeling tired,
Right.
it's about your long-term health.
That's kind of scary.
It is.
So it's not just about, like, feeling good and having more free time.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about protecting ourselves
Exactly.
from these really serious consequences.
Absolutely.
So the sources you sent,
Yeah.
they offer 3 key tips
Okay.
for achieving this
Yeah.
elusive work-life balance.
Okay. Let's hear them.
The first one is setting boundaries.
Okay.
And this is something I'm constantly working on.
I think a lot of people struggle with that.
I know, I do.
Yeah.
Like just last week,
Mm.
I caught myself answering emails
Oh, no.
at like 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
while I was trying to unwind for the night.
Not very relaxing.
Not at all.
So how do we set better boundaries?
Well, sources had this great analogy.
Okay.
They said to think of it like a traffic light.
Interesting.
So when the light's green,
Mm-hmm.
you're engaged in work.
Okay.
When it turns red,
Yeah.
you're off.
You're done.
You're allowing yourself to fully disconnect and recharge.
That's a really good visual.
I thought so too.
Makes it easier to understand.
Right, because if you're always on,
Yeah.
eventually you're going to burn out.
You'll just run out of steam.
Exactly.
So what's the second tip?
Okay, so the second tip
Mm-hmm.
is prioritizing self-care.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so easy to let this slide
I know it is.
when you've got deadlines looming.
For sure, deadlines always seem to take over.
Right, but the sources really emphasize
Yeah.
that self-care isn't selfish.
It's essential.
It's essential.
Like these sources actually highlighted
Really?
a study from UC Berkeley
Okay.
that found
Yeah.
that even just these short bursts of mindfulness meditation
Yeah.
can like significantly reduce your stress hormones.
Wow.
So it's not about making these grand gestures. It's
Right.
about just consistently incorporating
Yeah.
small acts of self-care.
Into your daily routine.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Even just a 15-minute walk
Yeah,
can make a difference.
absolutely.
Okay, so the third tip.
Okay.
This is the one I always struggle with.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Learning to say no.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I always feel like I have to say yes
Yeah,
to every opportunity,
I get that.
even if it means I'm totally stretched too thin.
Right, you don't want to spread yourself too thin.
Exactly.
Well, the sources actually offered a really interesting perspective on this.
Okay, what's that?
They suggested we try reframing,
Mm-hmm.
saying no
Yeah,
as saying yes to your priorities.
that's a good way to look at it.
It is, right?
Instead of feeling like you're missing out,
Yeah.
you're actually choosing
Or prioritizing.
to focus on what really matters.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, and they even provided a script
Oh, really?
for like politely declining requests.
That's helpful.
Yeah. So it's really about protecting your time
Yeah.
and your energy
Yeah.
for the things that truly matter to you.
Absolutely.
And, something else the sources acknowledged
What's that?
is that sometimes
Yeah,
life throws curveballs.
it does.
There are going to be times when work demands more of your attention
For sure.
and times when your personal life takes over.
Right.
It's not about achieving perfect balance
Yeah.
every single day.
That's unrealistic.
It is.
So, like, what's the key then?
Well, it's about that long-term view.
Good.
Think of it like a sailboat
Mm-hmm.
navigating the ocean.
Okay.
There are going to be calm days
Yeah.
and stormy days.
Right.
But the key is to adjust your sails
I see.
and stay on course.
Okay, so to recap what we've learned from these sources,
Yes.
setting clear boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
prioritizing self-care,
Yes.
and learning to say no are key.
Those are the big three.
And remember,
Yeah.
it's not about being perfect.
Nope.
It's about finding a rhythm that works for you.
Exactly.
It's an ongoing process,
It is.
not a destination.
Well said.
So on that note,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a question.
All right. Shoot.
What's one small step you can take today
Mm-hmm.
to move towards a better work-life balance?
Yeah, like what's one small change
Exactly.
you can make right now?
Maybe it's blocking off 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
in your calendar for a walk,
I like that.
or setting a hard stop time
Yeah.
for work emails.
Good idea.
Even small adjustments like that
Absolutely.
can make a big impact over time.
I completely agree.
So think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
What's one thing you can do today?
To start finding that balance.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me.
It was a great conversation.
It was.
I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye, John.